Okay, perfect. We are recording. Okay, so for those of you watching the recording, it's April 9th. I always do a surge call the Monday after we have Super Saturdays because there's so much information. Hey, Steph. I feel like I know her now because I've met her in the flesh. What's up, girl? Um, so I always do a surge call after Super Saturdays and Super Sundays. And this past weekend did not disappoint. It was full of amazing information. So we are going to do a little bit of recognition first, and then I'm going to jump into Saturdays. And I'm going to talk to three of you guys from Saturday, and then Sarah is going to walk us through a little bit of what happened on Sunday. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let me get my PowerPoint up and then try to share my screen. Okay. Juliet's on. Okay. Perfect. Can you guys see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Okay, cool. What I'm really excited about, I love the fact that we are featuring the guest speakers on this call as, I don't even want to say new coaches because they're not new, but they're newer coaches. They're coaches that you don't typically see speak on calls. And I'm really excited to hear from Julia and Portia and Sarah. And we didn't think Elise was going to be able to be on the call, but she is. So I'm going to have her talk a little bit about how she's going to start recruiting a little bit differently. So this is going to be awesome because I think it gives a totally fresh perspective when we're talking to brand new coaches, or when I say brand new, that's coaches who've been working the business like less than 9 months. So before we get started, you guys probably saw in the coach page, but I'm doing something new for recognition. I want to recognize everybody who's changing a life. So I want to really go big and spotlight the women that are hitting Success Club numbers. And as you see, Dina and Heidi are just killing it for the month of March. And then Juliet and Alicia and Stacy and Julia did amazing with their Success Club. But then there's a lot of you that are helping 1 or 2 lives. And just because that's not typically hitting Success Club, that doesn't mean that it's not important, because everyone matters when it comes to who we help. And there are a lot of coaches on our team that just are okay with helping 1 or 2 people. They're not trying to grow a business, and Success Club is not that much of a priority to them because they're not growing a business, and that's okay. And we still want to recognize them because that contribution is so important because they're changing people's lives. So amazing. Be looking for this at the end of every month. And she's speaking to us tonight, but Julia Dussel, she's been recruiting. I met her, you guys, in January when I got certified to teach PIO with Juliet in New York City. Met Julia. I loved her from the instant I met her. She had 2 little ones. We started talking behind the scenes after the PIO training, and she was asking me some questions about nutrition and asking me some questions about clean eating and asking me questions about how I get it all done with 4 little ones. And I was like, do you have a challenge group? And she was like, no, I'm doing this by myself. And I was like, oh my goodness, we've got to get you plugged into the team. And it's been as much of a blessing for us as I think she will tell you it's been a blessing for her. So super pumped for her. 4 coaches last month. She is almost all the way to diamond, and she's not stopping anytime soon. So I'm going to turn the reins over to her. And the first thing she's going to talk about, you guys may or may not know, she is a nurse and she works 2 to 3 10-hour shifts a week. And so when Dr. Luigi started speaking to us on Saturday at Super Saturday, he is our new vice president of nutritionals. And what's really cool is that his job, he actually came from Herbalife 5 months ago. He was at Herbalife for quite a long time. And his job is basically to make sure that he is working on understanding the sourcing of all of our consumables. So Shakeology, 3-Day Refresh, Performance Line, and now Beach Bars, and really helping us understand where the food is coming from that's being used to use these consumables, and making sure that from a marketing perspective, we know really the value that we're getting. And so he's got a clinical nutrition background. He is an MD. He's not practicing anymore, but he does do family practice on the side from a consulting basis. So I'm going to stop sharing right now and just turn it over to Julia Dussel, who can give us the medical background and just the fact that she has an amazing picture with him, and they both look like supermodels, which I can't wait to see that on social media. But Julia, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay, so hi everybody. Dr. Luigi spoke at Super Saturday. He's the vice president of all of our nutritional products. He was amazing. He spoke so well, so confident. And I just want to start off, the first thing he said, which everybody laughed at, was America is getting fat. Plain and simple, America is fat. And two main reasons that he spoke about. Take notes, because these are some fun facts that you can share with your clients. But one, we're such a busy society. We're constantly on the go, and we are grab and go eaters. So once we're grab and go eaters, we instantly are taking in way too many calories. And the second thing that he brought in and shared was that even our healthy foods aren't even that healthy anymore. Our fruits and veggies, they're not healthy. Because why, you ask? Because there's a low supply and a high demand, because we have such a high population in America. And once that happens, the suppliers are quickly processing our foods, and it's stripping them of all of the vital nutrients. And the first vital nutrients to go are our vitamins and minerals and our fiber. So when we're quickly processing these foods, we're completely stripping them of the most important things they need or that they would provide. So he shared some statistics with our government, from our government, and he said the most consumed foods, well, they say, the government says these are actual statistics, the most consumed foods in America are potatoes in the form of French fries, tomatoes, which are processed with sugar and put into ketchup, and then lettuce, which is topped on cheeseburgers. So, hello, McDonald's, disgusting, right? So it's super crazy. The other thing that he was talking about was omega-3s and omega-6s. Those are our healthy fats. We need a healthy combination of the two. There's also omega-9s, but more importantly, the omega-3s, which are like our fishes and our flax seeds. The omega-6s, which are grains, corn oils. There should be a 1-to-1 ratio between the two fats. And right now in America, we are so far from that. We are so high in consuming omega-6s. And when we consume a large amount of omega-6s, we are increasing or we're causing inflammation in our body. And as a nurse, I can tell you inflammation in the body is terrible. It's bad news. So you can see there's like a rise in ADD, all these behavioral disorders and issues in children, Alzheimer's, dementia, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, stroke, high blood pressure. And Dr. Luigi was saying all of these issues are partly linked to the high consumption of omega-6s that we're consuming. So it's super, super crazy. The good news is that we have Shakeology. So he was saying that even if you're drinking Shakeology every single day and you sneak in a slice of pizza, I did last night because it was my son's birthday party, but even just drinking Shakeology every day, you're still going to make sure you're getting those nutrients that are so vital to properly functioning. But if we're not, and we're not getting those nutrients, bad news, right? Because we have crazy inflammation. The other thing that he was talking about, he mentioned that his nutritional philosophy, before he joined Beachbody, he was a family medicine doctor, and he specialized in obesity and nutrition. So he has a lot of background and a super amount of knowledge that was beneficial. But his nutritional philosophy to his patients prior to joining Beachbody was to be sure to get macronutrients, which are our proteins, fats, and carbs, and the micronutrients, which are vitamins, minerals, and trace elements. And if you have the two of those, your body should function properly. Okay. So most shakes on the market have those two things in them, the macro and the micronutrients. The difference between the shakes on the market and Shakeology is that we also have the phytonutrients. It's the third class of nutrients that are super important. And what are phytonutrients? I'm sure we all know. It's the superfoods. So the superfoods are filled with nutrients from plants and fruits, and they offer specific benefits to our body based on whatever superfood. So he did bring up one small example. There's I'm like blanking. I think it's lime cone it's called, and it's found in tomatoes, and it is good for breast tissue in women, and it's good for the prostate in males. So these superfoods have so many benefits, but when we're quickly processing them, they're stripped in America. So you can't just go to Stop and Shop and pick up a good tomato and think you're going to get the same benefits as the form it would come through Shakeology. The other thing that he spoke about was that all of the ingredients in Shakeology are in their best form. The heads of the nutritional department from Beachbody, they actually go to Peru and they work with the farmers and the suppliers to improve the quality and sustainability of our crops and our ingredients. It's amazing. So the heads of our department are not just sitting in an office and directing people what to do. They are getting out there, taking action, right? And they're going out there and they're making sure that we are getting the best of the best. So he was saying that Shakeology is hands down, by far, the best shake on the market right now. And not just because of the ingredients and that because we provide such high quality, but because of the heads of their department, the nutritional department, take action, go out there and make sure and guarantee that we're getting the best of the best. He said it is the best in class. Those were his words. Shakeology is the best in class. So I thought that was amazing. I have a few more points and then I'm going to let somebody else take the stage. But a guest spoke up and asked about, I'm sure we've all had those clients who said, what about it's not labeled organic or gluten-free or non-GMO? And he said, this is so amazing to me because he is so true. It's so true. He said it's all a marketing technique. And he used this one example and I thought it was so funny. He said that Cheerios, which should be gluten-free, they label it gluten-free. Okay, so what does that tell you? Okay, it's all a marketing technique. It's twisting the advertising, okay, to enhance their sales. Shakeology doesn't need to do that because they already know the product they're providing is the best and it's in the best form that it could be. So by Cheerios saying it's gluten-free, it already should be, and we should already know that because it should be whole grain, right? Cheerios should be whole grain, which would make it gluten-free. So why are they needing to put gluten-free on the box? It's marketing technique, and it's twisting the advertising to increase sales. So Shakeology doesn't need to do that. The other thing that I want to say is that Beachbody researches and has these professionals, these doctors, Dr. Luigi and the heads of the nutritional department, and they research and they study and they make sure that the products and the ingredients are the best. And when they find data that they're not, they change. And one example recently that they did, I don't know if you know, but we had, what are they called? Tracy, help me out. The beets.
The beet juice was taken out of Energize, and organic cane sugar was added in.
Yes, and the reason is they removed the beet juice was because there was question whether the suppliers were genetically modifying the beet juice. So since there was question, they completely took it out of the product and, changed it up and used cane sugar instead. So that just goes to show that if there's doubt or if there's an issue with our product, they are going to take action again and change it to make sure that we are continuously getting the best of the best.
Yes. And for those coaches that have been around for over a year, we always say Shakeology has over 70 superfoods. That's not the number anymore. The number is now 63 because they have removed 7 ingredients because it either wasn't necessary or because there was question on whether or not it was genetically modified, so it was pulled. So make sure that you're not throwing out the whole like 70, I mean, we say that all the time, it's over 70 superfoods, and it can't be organic because then all 70 superfoods would have to be certified organic. So it's not 70 anymore because we're pulling. And with the Energize, a lot of people, you guys may have clients or challengers that were complaining about the way the taste changed. There was a lot of talk in the 5-star room about the taste of Energize being changed. And now you know the reason that they changed the beet juice to organic sugar or organic cane sugar is because we know that it is now truly genetically a GMO-free product, and we weren't sure before because of the supplier.
It's beet sugar. It's not beet juice.
Beet sugar. Yeah, it was taken.
No, I just didn't want to. I didn't want anyone to say beet sugar and then confuse it. It's organic cane sugar. I kept wanting to say it, but I was like, nope, I'm not going to say it. But it's the beet sugar.
Thank you, Juliet.
Which was also removed from Hydrate. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I have one last point, and then I'm going to hop off the stage. I thought this was amazing. So he said that we begin the aging process at the age of 25, and we are all way older than 25, so I thought this was sad, but we can reverse that. So he showed us a cross section, which is basically an MRI of a leg from a 25-year-old, a 50-year-old, and a 70-year-old. And in the 25-year-old leg, you can see that the muscle mass compared to the fat is significant. It's mostly muscle with very thin layer of fat. Then in the 50-year-old, the muscle mass starts to shrink because we've already begun the aging process, and we increase on fat. So you're about almost half and half, a little more muscle than fat. And then by the time you are 70, you are mostly fat, and there's very little muscle. And people will say, I'm sure you've had clients tell you, well, I've been the same weight most of my life, but they're not realizing that now they may have been one weight at the age 25 with mostly muscle, but now that weight has shifted and turned into fat, and the muscle is lost. And that's when you're hitting those ages, you're getting injuries, you're falling, you're losing balance, you're getting hip replacements, joint knee replacements, achy bodies, achy bones, because you no longer have the muscle to support your body. So the great news is we can reverse this process. And Beachbody, which he said is the #1 selling at-home workout program, with Beachbody, the workouts and the nutritional plans and your Shakeology, you can completely reverse that process and slow down the aging by increasing your muscle mass and protecting your body. So that is my spiel. He was amazing. I did take a quick little clip of him, so I'll be able to share a little bit. I'll post it in the central page. But thank you for listening, ladies.
Awesome. You did great. Thank you for regurgitating. That was a lot of information. It was super, super interesting. He did a great job, and you did an awesome job recapping.
Great job, Julia.
I love what she talked about, how muscle is so important. So you guys may have heard a lot of conversation about Maverick. Maverick was the name of what is now Lift 4. Okay, so Joel from Core to Force is going to be heading this up. And here's the quick highlights, because I'm going to get through this quickly because I want to turn it over to Elise. So this is coming out. Here's the cool thing. So there's going to be like a soft launch and a large launch, okay? So Lift 4, just so everyone knows, is an 8-week program. There are going to be 32 workouts because it's going to be 4 days on, 3 days off. 4 days on, 3 days off. So 4 days times 8 weeks is 32 new workouts. They're all going to be different. It's going to be heavy lifting, and it's going to end with HIIT cardio. So the lifting will be first, the HIIT cardio will be second, all within a 30-minute workout. And then the first 6 weeks is going to be build. The last 2 weeks is going to be shred. And in the last 2 weeks, the workouts are going to go to about 40 minutes. So this is going to get released for pre-sale first, and then July 16th, it is going to be a VIP group for people who are going to pay a fee to see it before it is released in Beachbody On Demand. So the whole world is going to get it on October 1st. But Joel, very much like Autumn right now, is going to be doing like a VIP Facebook group. There's going to be a Facebook coach group. And the only people that are going to be able to get into this group are people who either buy a completion pack or people who are going to buy an accessory bundle. There is going to be bands that are used with this for people that either want to modify or use bands in lieu of weights. And then there's also going to be a standalone for people who don't have Beachbody On Demand at all, but just want to do this program. If they buy the standalone just to unlock this one program, they will be able to get into July 16th. So the July 16th group is going to go, the rest of July, all of August, and then a little bit in September. And then October 1st, anybody who's got a BOD membership is going to get access to it. So it's going to be a great way to get people excited about it in July, but there is going to be a fee if they want to unlock it, so to speak, a little bit earlier than October 1st, obviously. Any questions on that?
Yes. Do we know what the fee is going to be? They didn't tell us that? No.
I don't think they've decided. Just like we don't really know what the accessory bundles are going to be.
Okay.
They're
No
probably
worries.
figuring it out. I'm going to be publishing this in the Faithfully Fit Central page after this call. But this came from Julie Boris, who is a coach that's been coaching for like 9 years. She's got 17 years experience of fitness instruction, and she actually was in Shaun T's Shaun Week as the modifier. She's got the blonde short hair, and she actually came up with this schedule that somewhat mirrors what Joel is doing. So the 4 days on, 3 days off type deal. She did add a little bit of flexibility in here as well, but this is something that Julia Dussel, myself, and Dina are rolling over with a new challenge group. Now that 80 days over, people that want to do Lift 4, they all think it's still called Maverick. So like there's a ton of confusion going on with people. They're like, what's Lift 4? Where's Maverick, right? So it's now Lift 4, and this very much simulates what Lift 4 is going to be with the heavy lifting and the HIIT cardio using programs that we already have. And a lot of these programs, as you can see, like Asylum and some of the other workouts are a little bit longer than 30 minutes for people who want to not do hour-long workouts every day, but they don't necessarily want to go from hour-long workouts down to 25, 30-minute workouts because they're scared they're going to lose their strength. So if you want to use this or provide it to some of your challengers, it's very much similar to what Lift 4 is going to be like. So that leads me into inviting people to challenge groups. And I want to have Elise talk to the group about how she's going to change up her inviting a little bit based on some of the things that she learned from Super Saturday. You're on mute.
Oh, there. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? So I'll try and be quick because I know we're just trying to be 30 minutes, right?
45. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So Super Saturday was so amazing to be there, just to be with everyone face to face. So, I mean, Irene's on this call, Julia's on the call, Portia, Juliet, Tracy. I met all of you guys there. I'm looking, Jen, I met you guys all there. And it was just so incredible, the energy to be around the team, like live in person. And what it made me start thinking about is like, who are my challengers? Who do I want to be on my team? I actually was talking to Julia about this today because I was like, well, I don't want my own team because I just want to coach with you for the rest of my life. But it's important to think about it, and it's funny because our team, Team Juliet, is very similar kind of avatars, and I know you guys talk about it, and I know we hear it in all this training, and it's sort of like we're listening to in this like Hot Pockets thing. I don't know what everybody's listening to, but there's Brooke Castillo podcast, and she's talking about, who cares what other people think of you? You have to think about, you're going to attract your kind of avatar. So it's all this kind of stuff, meeting everyone, thinking about all of these things. And it's making me feel like I need to think about who I'm inviting to coach with me. And so as soon as I left Super Saturday, had all this energy. I got stuck in so much traffic. I had like an hour and a half drive and it should have been 30 minutes. And I called 2 different people. I talked to them about beach bars. I called somebody else and talked to them about 2B mindset. And then I started thinking, who am I going to ask to coach? And I started like cold call emailing people to coach. It was the weirdest thing. But this woman I know, she's like a friend of the family. She just had some coffee bean business and it was like never going to work. But anyway, I was like, oh, your business just failed. My mom told me, I'm so sorry. I was like, but you could be in your own business doing something else and she would be perfect. So I just started thinking about it in a different way. And I had a conversation with someone today who would totally fit with this team. Actually, Tracy, she would fit more with your team than me because she's very into faith and religion. And I'm like a Jewish girl from Florida. That's not me. I love you, but that's not me.
That's
but
okay.
She would fit in with the team and she's like on board. So I'm thinking about things a little differently now. Now I'm not like Julia ranking in 4 coaches in the month of March. I'm going a little slower, but I think I'm going to be more calculated about it because I can afford to do it. Like I'm okay being slow about it and I just want to make the right choices because I think being with our team is like super awesome and fun. So it was a good experience for that, not to mention all the like little tidbits and information that we got.
I love it. And you know what? I always say that if I could go back to my first 2 years of coaching, I wish that I would have invited more people to coach. I really did. I didn't understand that you needed to ask people to coach with you. I thought they would just like come. I would put social media posts up and be like, hey, do you want to coach with me? And they'd come, but you have to ask them. So, and also keep in mind, guys, that if you ask all the top 10 coaches, they all said no to coaching 3, 4, 5, 10 times before they said yes. So I've gotten some really bad no's over the last 2 months, a lot of them, to the point that I'm like, oh my goodness, like digging into my personal development so it doesn't get me down. But I'm like, you know what? This means that I'm taking action more than I ever had because I'm getting so many no's and I'm planting seeds. So you're doing the same. So good for you, connecting with people. I love that. And guess what, guys? You can have your avatar picked, but it doesn't mean that you have to pick everyone on your team that's exactly like you. Not everyone on my team is going to love Jesus the way I love Jesus, and that is okay. And you know what? I'm going after people that are better at other things than I am, because that is what's going to really make our team circular. Is it can't be a bunch of Sarahs or a bunch of Juliets or a bunch of Irenes. We have to find people that lift us where we're not really that great. We talked a lot about that at the leadership retreat on gifts. So know what your gift is and go after someone you'd want to hang out with, but it doesn't mean they've got to be just like you. That's okay. All right. Thank you, Elise. That was awesome. Okay, Portia, I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Hear me?
Hi.
Hi. All right, hold on 1 second. All right. So I'm just so excited to talk about everything that I learned about on Saturday. Like I have just this renewed energy about everything that's coming out, and just, I guess, being a coach and being on this team in general. Because I was actually, if you guys don't know, I was actually a free lead to Juliet. And I had done this a year on my own, and then I got Shakeology, and Juliet reached out to me. And my year is coming up probably in, I think, like 2 months, Juliet, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been, for me, I'm easily discouraged. I've had a lot of people that either went off and did it on their own, or just, I literally had somebody that I see 3 times a week knowing exactly what I'm doing go and do 80-day obsession on her own. Like, really? So for me to be at Super Saturday and to be with my team and to just feel the energy and to get all this good information, it just gives me this new focus and this new energy on what I'm going to talk about, and my confidence in what I'm talking about and how I'm presenting everything. Because now I've sat and I've learned all this information, and now things are tangible. I've tried the beach bars. I can talk about them. I can tell you, yes, they are good. And I was scared I was going to hate it. So yes, I've already started talking about 2B mindset in my virtual community. And it actually launched me right into a conversation with my sister-in-law, who I talk to all the time, and she's really, my brother has a very unhealthy relationship with food, and she's like, this is perfect. I said, I know. And it's just given me all the tools now that I need to really relate to her. This is what you need to do. This is what he's doing. He is a volume eater. And if you were at Super Saturday and you heard what they were talking about, it's reestablishing your relationship with food, a healthy relationship with food, not being a volume eater, a convenience eater, an emotional eater. And I have people that I've had conversations with that's what they're all about, not necessarily the working out, not necessarily the fitness. And I think it's going to open up a whole new pocket of clients that, you know, I might not have been able to access as well before, and that I might have gotten more discouraged about when they were pushing back to me before. So, you know, just to get that excitement and to get that information and to be there learning and seeing it all, it's just really helped me kind of say, you know what, I'm sharing this. This is it, and presenting it and being able to talk about it so much better, and kind of overcoming more objections, because I'm like, hey, I know this is the best thing for you. These are the best programs. These are the best products. Exactly what Julia said about how we go about our products and how we go about what we're putting into the products and how we monitor everything we're putting in the products. You know, I've had plenty of people that said to me, I'm fine with my Vega shake, my Vega One shake. No, you're not. And here's why. And, you know, you can see all the videos after the workouts and you can see all that, but to hear the doctor talk about it, it just gives you all these wheels spinning and this ammunition to present to more people. And I've already just started launching into it and just getting ready to just put it all out there. And I also, with what Elise was saying too, it's changed how I'm kind of looking at people and looking at prospective clients and coaches, because yes, I'm trying to get more challengers. Yes, I'm working towards Success Club. Yes, there's a lot of no's and there's a lot of no answers and there's a lot of, I'll get back to you. But, you know, it's also opened up in my mind the idea of being more open to looking at potential coaches too, because to be with our team, I mean, we box 1,000,000 times a day and we're nuts. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but we're a bunch of nut jobs. And so just to kind of to see and pay more attention to the challengers and to pay more attention to say, you know what? She would fit. I like her. She would work with us. So that's something that I think I'm going to focus on as well more, because, you know, that's going to help me grow too. I think for so long I've been focused on getting more challengers, getting to Success Club, getting people to sign on. But you know what? Growing the team too is going to help all of us, everybody. And just to be there with everyone and meet them in person and be there and feel the energy, it just makes it that much better to just dive right into that. So, you know, it's a lot, you know, that the saying, find your tribe and love them hard. This whole weekend just made me realize, after almost a year of getting really discouraged a lot, this is the right decision that I made. And I'm glad I answered Juliet's email.
Oh, I love that. So make sure
God,
you follow up with your.
Are you gonna cry? Don't cry.
Portia's getting, like, she got teary. She never gets fucking teary. I'm teary. I'm always teary. Fucking make me cry at the drop of that. She did. It was Trace. It was when I changed it to a video, and she was one of the first people. I was like, oh, she saw my video. She liked what she saw.
I love that. That's awesome.
Because you didn't have that cold sore on your
I
face.
know. Nicole, this actually, the what you told me made it stop, though. I got another cold sore. Fucking mess.
Well, you covered it up really, really well. Much better than it is now.
It's scabbed now. If you've ever gotten a cold sore, it gets ugly at the end.
Oh, okay. I haven't had one yet. I thought maybe you've been picking at it. Love it. Awesome. Yes. And you'll see that the more that you start to actually recruit people for your team, that will encompass some of your Success Club points. Like, you will have people that you ask to coach, and they finally say yes, and they actually come on as 2 Success Club points, really not for the challenge group, but because they want to be part of your team. So I love that. That's awesome. Okay, so thank you guys so much for sharing. I'm going to move on to, I'm going to kind of whip through this because we're running out of time. I'm going to skip To Be Mindset, which you might be a little bit disappointed about, but we are most likely, fingers crossed, going to be having a call with Alana for our team. I was in the test group and I was able to invite another coach on our team, so I invited Pam Blackwell. So the two of us did To Be Mindset from November to December. So you're going to hear more about that. We've got a team call scheduled in 2 weeks about that. But if we get Alana, we're just going to have to follow her schedule whenever she can squeeze us in. So I'm going to skip that, and we're going to talk about it another time since that's not as urgent. It comes out in May. And beach bars. So all of this information, which I'm also going to skip, is in your back office. So if you go to the coach office and you go to product materials, training materials, you will find all of this information. Your quick and easy, guys, that you want to say to people is calorie for calorie, we're higher protein, higher fiber, lower sugar. If you're comparing calorie to calorie to all the different bars. We were able to taste the bars, and let me stop sharing for a minute. Like, was there any, and you can be honest, was there anyone that didn't like the bar? Anybody that was so-so? Everyone loved the bar. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yeah, everyone loved the bar. I mean, I had it today on the train. I was like, this is just amazing. Who is that? Stephanie. All I see. Thank you, Stephanie. We got you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so get all the information about the bars. I actually printed a bunch of stuff up, and I've got this in front of my computer so that when I go live talking about the bar, I've got the quick and easy. So if people start typing in questions about how many calories, how much sugar, how many carbs, all that, it's right in front of me. Also, our contest for our team, I usually do a contest every single month. The contest this month is, if you are going to Summit, our team gets elite floor seats. So whoever sells the most bars, whoever sells the most boxes of bars for the month of April is going to win the floor seats for one of the general sessions, which is amazing. If you're not going to Summit, that's cool. You're still going to get a different prize, but there's like 30 of us going to Summit. So keep track of how many bars you're selling. I've sold like 9 boxes, even though I can't win them, but fired up. And 3 boxes on HD is 2 Success Club points. So it's all in the FAQ. Anybody have any questions about bars before I move on to Super Sunday? Juliet?
Yes. Real quick, when, like, are we supposed to, because every time I do it, I'm like, I'm going to tell how many bars and boxes I'm selling because I want to be like obnoxious because I'm really about how many I have. But then I'm like, I don't want to because I don't want anyone to try to chase me.
Yes, there are 3 posts that are scheduled for the Faithfully Fit Central page that says how many bars have you sold.
Okay.
Because
I don't want to be too aggressive, and
right.
Okay.
Woo girl, hold on. You just hold your horses.
Oh, I want those fucking floor seats.
They're pretty awesome. They are pretty awesome. Okay, we're going to move on to Super Sunday, which was totally different than Super Saturday. We learned a lot about social media. I want to also share about a 3-day sneak peek that I did to a challenge group, and then we're going to call it a wrap. But amazing Facebook training from Tara Blalick, who's a 15-star diamond coach. Sarah and a lot of her team were there on Sunday. Dina and some of her team were there. So I'm going to turn it over to Sarah so you can talk to us a little bit about the Super Sunday, Sarah.
Okay, so can everyone hear me okay? Okay, I took a bunch of notes. I know a lot of what we're going to talk about is things that we're already doing, but I just want to highlight why they're so important. First, Tara talked about prepping your page, and I'm going to talk about Facebook first. One of the things that she was saying as far as Facebook is concerned is that there are a lot of people who are actually jumping ship as far as Facebook is concerned because they're being overwhelmed by all of the sales pitchy things that are going on. And one of the things that she said is really important is we are not salespeople. So we really want to build our relationships and not make it all about product placement in our posts. So what she was saying was if you're going to post on Facebook, you really only want to do it 1 to 2 times a day. So what she's doing in her team is she's basically posting in the morning and sometime throughout the course of the day, whether it's, lunchtime because most people are on social media at that point in time, or let's say after the kids go to bed, so 8 o'clock on. Some of the things that she talked about, what you want to post is who you were and who you are now, because you want it to be personal. You want your potential clients to be able to relate to you. You don't want to just be some supermodel sitting on the sidelines and not have it be feasible, because I'm not attracted to that person. I'm attracted to someone who's in her 40s, trying to work and raise 2 kids. And that's who I want to attract to my team. Couple of things that she's talked about. I know that Tracy has done a lot of training on this, but the importance of being active in social media for about 10 to 15 minutes before you actually do your posts, because Facebook has caught on to a lot of the MLMs and they know what to look for and they will shut you down. And not so much like completely cut you off, but they're going to hide your posts in the news feed. So what she was saying is 10 minutes before you post anything, go on and comment, like, send Facebook messages, have conversations, and build on relationships before you post anything. If you do that, your post is going to go to the top of their feed. Now, when you talk about going to the top of somebody's feed, you then have to be very aware of what you're saying. So a lot of times in the past, I know I am guilty of it. I have said, I am this, I'm doing this, this is what I'm doing, come with me, comment below. The minute Facebook sees comment below, you're out. You're going to the bottom of the pack. The minute you say post a pic below if you're interested, you're at the bottom. Post a GIF or a GIF or whatever it is. Post an emoji. All of those things are going to spark Facebook to say, this person is trying to sell something. We don't want you selling anything on our social media, and they're going to just push you right off to the side. So I thought that was really interesting because I do that almost on a daily basis. Give me a high five, raise a hand, do this, do that. So you really have to maybe ask them a question to engage and have conversation, because the more conversation you have, the more likely you're basically going to show up at the top of somebody's newsfeed.
Yes. If I can just jump in really quick, this information all came from Chalene Johnson's Marketing Impact Academy. So Chalene does this once a year. Heidi and Kelly and Allison went a couple of years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But because the algorithms are always changing, this is all new information. And we who started Beachbody, who started coaching like 3 years ago, that's all we did was like post a comment below, raise your hand if you're interested, drop your emoji. We used to have to do engagement posts. You don't have to do engagement posts anymore. Facebook wants to see the comments going back and forth. So that's where you can help your teammates out, that if I see Sarah do a post, I can comment on the post and Sarah should come back because she knows me and we both know what's going on. And Sarah should come and ask me a question back so that she and I have banter in the thread of her post. That's what's going to boost your post.
Yeah.
So no more drop gifts, no more comment below, no more raise your hand if you want to be in my challenge group. You will be ousted and no one's going to see that post. So that was really eye-opening.
It's almost like you want to approach this as if you were at Marshall's and you ran into a girlfriend. How would you be talking to your girlfriend in the middle of Marshall's? That's really how you have to approach this. And, from a marketing standpoint, this is going to keep you active and it's going to keep you in the forefront of everyone's newsfeed. But at the same time, it's also going to help you build that relationship as well. So, and ultimately, that's what we're here to do. Talking about building relationships, she also highlighted the fact that we have to build our email list, because if you do get shut down, you lose everything. She said that she actually has an email list that she works off of on a monthly basis where she does recipe swaps. She just, is in constant contact with her challengers and potential clients through email. She actually said that she prefers to do that. which I thought was really interesting because I found that for me, I've shied away from email. I actually rely more on Facebook Messenger. So I personally have to get better about building my email list because I've definitely slacked on that one. But the other thing is too, is I've actually heard some people, based on what you hear on the news, some people have actually talked about deactivating their Facebook account. And if that happens, how are you going to reach that person? She also talked about going live 2 times a week. So if anyone in here is in the Hot Pockets group, we know that Tracy and Kelly are already telling us to do that. So that's nothing new. And let's see here. Oh, the other thing she talked about, and again, Kelly and Tracy do talk about this as well, that when you do send out invites or, you try to reach out to someone with an invitation and you get crickets, she basically said to go on that person's page and just love them all day long. Just make them know that you have not given up on them. And that's also going to help to spark and build that relationship. Real quick, because I know we're running out of time. She did stress the importance of the Instagram stories and how those people who are jumping ship on Facebook are actually relying on Instagram. Your Instagram stories, they have to be personal. She's encouraging everyone to show every part of your day. So if you're mom, show pictures of your kids and your everyday life. If you're a hygienist like myself, I've been trying to kind of talk about what I do during the day. My dogs, find the 5 things that are going to kind of showcase who you are and use those in your Instagram stories.
Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah, it was really good. And she had literally just a lot of the things that we are all already doing. But one other thing I wanted to highlight, guys, and this is not to pick on anyone. I'm only telling you this out of love because I see it happen a lot and we've got to stop it. So this is an example that is killing you. This post right here, what holds you back from exercising? And ask some questions, okay? I saw this post, the same exact post, same exact color, same exact image on 5 people on our team, right? And so what happens is we all say like, oh yeah, what's mine is yours. What's mine is yours. Use it, use it, use it. However, even though like I might not have that many mutual friends with another person on our team, the fact that we're all using the same image, guess what picks up on that, you guys? The Facebook algorithms. So you've got to make sure that your page is authentic. That post originally came from Heidi. So if you saw that and you loved it, okay, awesome. Use it similarly, but change it so that it rings as you. I should not be scrolling because I use lists, and I will do a video on this for those who don't know. I make Facebook lists. That's kind of like what I do before people go into my streak. So when I'm doing 3-day sneak peeks to a challenge group, or when I'm doing my freemiums, I will create Facebook lists on who I want to have conversations with, and then I'll do another list of who potential coaches are. And what I can do is, instead of just going to my random news feed and being like a squirrel and getting distracted and 20 minutes is gone, I just go to my Facebook list and I'm like, boom, and I hit who I want to have conversations with. And these are all people that came from freemiums, okay? So I can go and I can show love for 5 minutes. Boom. Then I go to who are my potential coaches. These are all people that I've been asking to be a coach. And I can hit on that, and my news feed is only people who are my potential coaches. And I can go do-do-do-do-do. And then I have another list, current coaches on Faithfully Fit, so that I can come and show love to all of you guys, or like what Irene likes to talk about, have pods. And I can click on that, and for 5 minutes, I can go with you guys. And when I click on that and I see the same post over and over again, I'm like, ooh, ah, because it's not only hurting your algorithm, but it's hurting the algorithm of the person who originally made it. So I know we're trying to be a team, and we're trying to be like, hey, use it, go for it. If the post works great for me, you do it. It's all coming from a good intention, but I'm asking you guys, you've got to tweak it a little bit because the algorithm is on to us. So you've got to change it. Okay? Sarah, that was great. That was awesome. Okay, I have a lot more, but that's a wrap because we are a chatty bunch. We are fired up from Super Saturday weekend. So I think there's some great content on here. We are going to be covering 2B Mindset, and I'm changing the team power hours a little bit to make them somewhat more structured and more productive. So next week we've got one, and we're going to be focusing on 3 in 30, and I'm just going to leave it at that. So I will record it so that you guys can watch it because it's a new strategy on what to do in 30 minutes to really move your ball closer to trying to get activities that are going to help you with your Success Club. And the Facebook list, okay, I'm going to end the call, so anybody that wants to leave can leave. But I will share my screen right now, and Elise, I'll show you what a Facebook list is, okay? But please don't feel like you have to sit on the call because I know there's husbands and kids and everything. So, okay. So bye for anyone who's leaving. And then my Facebook list. Okay. So here we go. All right. Can you see Facebook? Yep. Okay. Okay. So if I'm on my homepage, okay, and I go underneath Explore, right here is my friends list, okay? And I click on this, and these are all of my people. So here's my people that I'm in the middle of having conversations with. There's 16 people that I just added this month. And all of these 16 people are just people that I probably want to move to my potential coach list, okay? So then if I go to my potential coach list, I have 10 people that are on my list right now that I'm trying to get to be coaches. So the cool thing is the only people that are going to show up in my newsfeed when I'm in this list is all of those potential coaches so that I can come in here and I can love on their stuff. And then for my friends list, I've got Faithfully Fit. Where's my Faithfully Fit list? Boom. And here's all of you guys, right? Megan and Juliet and Dina and Pam. So this gives me the ability, there's Heidi, there's Brandy, there's Julia. It gives me the ability to go in and show love to you guys. So I don't think you can get to it from your phone. You have to do it from a desktop. But if you go to Friends List, you can create a list up here, and it enables you, like for instance, I'm just going to start April freemiums. So what I do is I will start April freemiums, and I'll throw everybody who's engaging in my April freemium into this list. And then when the freemium's over, I'm going to get rid of this list. And the people are either going to go to continue conversations, or if I've been having a lot of conversations, I'm going to move them into potential coaches. And then obviously the potential coaches get moved into current coaches. And I sort of work this list as I'm building the relationships with people so that then I can move them into Streak or whatever. But it just gives me very focused time that when I sit down and I carve out 15 minutes to do social media, I'm doing social media for my business. I'm not inundated with cousins and family and all of that because I am a squirrel. I will get lost in my news feed and 20 minutes will be gone. And sometimes I only have 20 minutes to like knock it out. So it keeps me super focused.
Trace, can I ask something? So if you create it on your computer,
yeah,
can you then access it on your phone that way or no?
I don't ever do it from my phone. No, Irene says no. She's the expert.
All right.
The only thing I use my phone for is when I have carved out time to invite. So I like using my phone because the friends list alphabetizes.
Yeah.
So I'll hold my phone and I'll be like, who's next? And then I pull it up on Facebook Messenger. And my goal is either put them in my virtual community, invite them to something, stick them in a list, or defriend them. That's it. And I'm on the C's, making progress. Takes forever.
Right, you've been further along than there, but yes,
I
do everything.
I got to like the G's, and then so much time had gone by, I hadn't been consistent with it. I'm like,
I have to go back. I know, and I do everything from my phone. I don't do any of it. I'm never on my computer unless I'm like doing a Zoom or I'm checking my back office, and so I just do Facebook on my phone. So I got to figure that out because I totally get to be squirrely, and I'm like, oh, this is so fun. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Before you're watching recipes on video. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Okay, did I answer your question? I'm obsessed with the list. I might be up all night making them.
She totally will.
She totally will. She's not.
Elise, She boxed me today. She's like, and Trace, you could just talk to this real quick because I was dying. She goes, oh my God, it's like 9 hours and all I've done is Beachbody. She goes, what's wrong? Is this normal? And I was like, it's totally normal.
It is. It's like your new boyfriend when you first started.
Yeah, I couldn't say it. I said to her, and she's like, I went to the park for like 10 minutes with like Jade and I was like on Boxer, like hiding in the corner. And I was like, then she goes, we got to go home. I got to do work.
I know it is. It was like my new boyfriend for like 2 years until my current husband was like, we gotta create some working hours.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I was like at Christmas and the kids were like, what is going on? Like when I first started, they were like, Mom, what are you doing? And I'm like, everyone.
Dopamine. I'm addicted to the dopamine hits from when someone says yes. I'm like, great. Awesome.
So excited. All right, I'm gonna go because my kids are downstairs doing something bad.
All right, everybody. You guys did great. Thank you so much for sharing.
You guys were wonderful. And Portia, you made me cry a little. My cold sore throbbed.
Bye, Kim. Bye, Reem. Bye, Jennifer. Glad you made it.
Bye, guys.
Bye, later.